Hey everybody, Chris here. Hope everybody's having an awesome Wednesday. I decided, kind of impromptu, spur of the moment, I was inspired. I felt inspired because I got a text from a friend this morning from a grocery store, which those who know me well should know this happens to me all the time. But she sent me a text with the typical picture of something in the grocery store she wanted to prepare for dinner that she saw in some recipe book somewhere, and was like, Chris, help, I need to cook for my family tonight. How do I make this work? I'm stressing. I saw this in a recipe book somewhere, and I really want to make this. And I'm seeing more and more that there really is such a need for us busy moms to find ways to be able to prepare home-cooked meals for our families more often than we do, because it's kind of a dying thing, right? The home-cooked family dinners. So she inspired me today to get on here and tell y'all a little bit and give you a little insight, a little peek into my daily life and how I make this happen. And so before I get started, I'm going to give y'all my 3 ninja tips that I swear by, and you are just going to be like, light bulb, aha, I get it. Why didn't I think of this? Because y'all, this is so simple, and you probably know this, you just haven't tried it. But before I start, and I want y'all to be honest, yes or no answer, who hates the grocery store? Be truthful, because I'm going to be real honest with y'all right now. I hate the grocery store with a passion. I dread it. I'd rather stick a fork in my eyeball than go to the grocery store, which is so ironic because I love cooking, especially fresh, healthy, home-cooked meals. So it's so funny that I hate the grocery store. I send my husband off if I can, and I will take care of the rest. So just let me know, yes or no. Be honest. Don't be afraid, because I just admitted that I hate it. But 3 quick tips. Number 1, I'm sure you've heard this before, but this is so true. Double, if not triple, your recipe. Whatever meat, chicken, beef, whatever it is, vegetables, double or triple it. Big roasting pan right there that's had a whole lot of love. As you can see, it's pretty old. Swear by that thing. I use it probably 3 nights a week, and roast away. I don't pull out a bunch of pots and pans and try to cook the chicken here and the vegetables there and then transfer this to that following recipes. It is for the birds. It is only going to stress you out. It's going to actually make you probably spend more money in the grocery store than you need to. So just back to the basics, keeping it really simple. I double, if not triple, my recipes. Okay? So I don't mind it. I just want to leave the house. Yeah, I get that too, for sure, but I don't want to leave the house just to go to the grocery store. I want to do something else. So using these tips, I have more time for those things. So double, if not triple. Set aside what we're having for dinner that night. The rest goes in the refrigerator, airtight container, big Ziploc bag. I don't care. Just put it away for the next day and the day after that. Have our meal that night. Then I always make sure I have as a staple either some kind of quinoa. This is that tri-colored quinoa. This is for my low-carb friends. This is an awesome option if you don't want to have rice. We always have some kind of starch with our meal because it's filling, and again, it's great with any leftovers. Quinoa is a great option. You cook it just like you do rice. It's a complete protein. It's really high in antioxidants, and it's just super good for you. It's actually a seed. It's not even a grain. And then I also always have a gigantic bag of jasmine rice. Yes, it's white rice. It's not brown rice. I eat white rice all the time. It gives me energy. I don't eat a ton of it, but I do eat white rice. Sometimes I'll eat brown, but we go for the white jasmine. I love it. It tastes great, and it's great with those leftovers. I might throw the next night some of those leftovers into a little pan and just heat them up. A little bit of olive oil. Hey, Jessica, how are you, babe? A little salt and pepper, some good seasonings. Throw it over that rice or that quinoa. Kids don't want the rice bowl or the quinoa bowl, so might throw it into a little burrito or a quesadilla, right? So you kind of get my drift here with those leftovers. So my 30, 45 minutes of cooking the next night just turn to maybe 5 or 10 minutes of just throwing everything together because I have the protein and I have the vegetables set aside. So those are just a few of my first, simple, easy tips that I swear by. Another quick question for y'all. I know this is really common, but let me know, yes or no, or just me in the comments, if you are a recipe person. You've got books of recipes in your cabinet. They might be collecting dust. You might refer to them all the time. Hey, Lisa. And, that's your thing. Well, recipe following. A couple things. One, you end up spending a lot more in the grocery store because chances are you don't have half those ingredients on hand. They're not your staple ingredients, right? Number two, it'll stress you out because, today's a perfect example. I had to leave my house in about 7 minutes to pick up the dog from the groomer, get the kids from school, get them to a tennis match, my oldest to a tennis match, get back home and homework, and hopefully prepare a meal for my family. So time is just precious, and I'd rather not spend that time trying to dig up recipes and then refer back to the book 47 times. I'd rather have just a few simple ingredients that I can literally throw together because I'm prepared in that I have staples. I have rice, I have quinoa, I have tortillas, I have simple things that I can grab and throw leftovers into. My family feels like they're eating an entirely new meal, and everybody wins. So that's my next ninja tip. Okay, and then my last ninja tip, this is a biggie to me, especially because kids today, I feel like, are so malnourished. This generation of children is the most malnourished our country has seen in a long time. And I'm talking kids that have access to food. This is what is so scary, and it's simply because of all these empty calories that we're feeding our kids. And it happens. I know there are times that I am stuck and I do have to take them out somewhere real fast in between things. It happens. I am real. I am imperfect. I am by no means on a pedestal about this, but this is the reality. And so I'm always trying to find ways to be efficient for my family so that their meals are full of real nutrients and not just empty calories, because they have little growing brains and bodies, and they're not the ones deciding what we're eating. I'm deciding for my family, and I'm making that choice for them. They don't get to make that choice. So what to bring them on, why is it doing that? My little comments are doing something weird. Overfed and undernourished. Exactly, Courtney. 100%. I'm with you. So my last ninja tip, and I have lots of others, and I'm totally going to come back and give y'all some more good ones, but these are really my biggies, and they're the most simple, is always have some kind of broth on hand. You can buy organic, free-range broth, low sodium. If you're a vegetarian, you can get the vegetable broth in cartons. You can refrigerate them if you're not using all of it. Always have broth on hand. For me personally, because I'm big on leftovers and maximizing what I have on hand, when we do roast chicken night, I roast 2 chickens, again, because I'm doubling everything and I have tons of chicken for quesadillas and a million other things. But then I take the carcass and I make a homemade bone broth with that the next day. So let me know if y'all want to know how to make homemade bone broth, because I was going to come on and do that next time, because it is the most wonderful thing everyone should know how to do, and it's so easy and simple. So I make the bone broth and I freeze it in portions, and I'll refrigerate a little bit because I know I'm probably going to use it that day or the next day. And then I will use that bone broth. Y'all, this is the coolest thing ever. My mother taught me this when I first had my oldest daughter 11 years ago. She is an Italian immigrant, and she has taught me a lot of what I know about cooking. There are no chefs in my family. We don't do gourmet cooking here. We're just about basic, fresh, and as few ingredients as possible. But with that broth, I will then, because remember, I always have my staples. I always have my quinoa and my rice. I'll cook their rice or quinoa in the broth, and their spaghetti, and their pasta, and their ravioli instead of water. And it's the same rule. It is the 2-to-1 ratio with your rice. Use the broth. Not only will it flavor it, it's going to fill that rice and that pasta. They're just going to soak in all those nutrients from the bone broth, which is pretty incredible. So I always have that on hand. I will also take, if I notice I'm in a pinch and only have a little bit of the chicken and vegetables left over in the refrigerator, I will throw it all in a pot, and I'll throw in that chicken and those vegetables, the broth, maybe some canned tomatoes, and we have a soup. Always have some awesome spices on hand because they will bring any meal back to life. You do the same thing, Megan? That's amazing. Meredith, amazing. I need to do that. Yes, do a tutorial on the bone broth? Let me know, girl. I absolutely will, because I am finding I get a lot of questions on the bone broth as well. Y'all will not believe, I should screenshot how many text messages with pictures in the grocery store aisle. True story. It is the funniest thing. They will call me and leave messages. Chris, I am in the grocery store. I'm in this aisle. Which is the one I get again, and what do I do with it exactly? I have to have dinner tonight. I have an hour, so I feel like this way, hopefully, this will bring a little bit more insight and value to all my moms, because we are a tribe here, and we are trying to bring home-cooked, healthy living back into this generation. That is my biggest mission. Those that don't know me personally, but those that do should know that is such a big passion of mine. So if this is valuable to you, and this is something that you feel passionate about as well, and this is something you want to know more about, let me know. Share this, and maybe we could enlighten another mom out there who is overwhelmed and frazzled by their everyday life, and just want to keep it simple for their family and feel good about feeding their family. So I would appreciate that so much, and I appreciate y'all's time, and y'all have a fantastic Wednesday. Bye, everybody.